speaks over hilltops, whispers to the morn. In the kitchen warmth, a new day's born. Sizzling whispers, bacon cracks the dawn. In its smoky dance, the day's first yawn. Golden spuds in a cast iron
All
glow,
right, so to wrap
flicking
up
out gently.
breakfast, we had it at Alder and Ash over in the Sheraton. Sheraton Grand? Is that what it is? Sheraton Grand in Seattle. It was a fancy looking restaurant, and the buffet was incredible. We decided to go with the, there was two options. You could go a la carte or you could go the buffet. The a la carte options look all really great as well, but after looking at the actual buffet itself, we decided to get the buffet. The highlight for me was the breakfast sausage. I think it was pork, but it was perfectly cooked. It was juicy inside, and it had a mild flavor to it. It was just a good, strong, like salty, porky flavor. It wasn't like overly done. And actually that was true for the rest of the breakfast too, because the breakfast potatoes, there were these whole roasted potatoes with some like rosemary and maybe some olive oil on it. Again, it wasn't heavily seasoned, but it was just really great tasting potatoes. So they didn't need any salt or pepper or anything. They just tasted naturally good. The bacon was really great. It didn't seem like mass-produced bacon either. And I had the scrambled eggs, and the scrambled eggs were pretty typical scrambled eggs. But overall, the other highlight was the toast. The sourdough toast they had, or was it sourdough? Yeah.
Mine was grain.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Courtney had the multigrain. I had the sourdough, and it was delicious. Just, I mean, you know, crisp it up however dark you want it to be. And it was just really good quality bread. So that was a highlight as well. And yeah, overall, it was $32 for the buffet. And it wasn't a lot of options, but it seemed like really high quality options. So I would definitely recommend the breakfast buffet at Alder and Ash over at the Sheraton Grand Seattle. All right, now we're gonna get ready to leave and board the ship because today is embarkation day. So we are going to get on the Royal Caribbean Quantum of the Seas, and we'll be vlogging from there on our trip to Alaska. Here we are wrapping up our stay over at the Sheraton Grand in downtown Seattle. It was a great room. We only stayed for about 2 nights, and we got in really late that first night. But it worked really, really well for us. It's a really big and spacious, which we liked. I really liked the decor. The mid-century modern accents were really nice, and it made it look a little sophisticated, so that was good. The bed was really, really comfortable. It was firm, like the kind of beds we have at home, so that was nice. The only thing I didn't like was that we could never get Netflix working. For some reason, the TV had difficulty connecting to the internet. But again, we weren't in the room that much that we would really take advantage of it, so it didn't really bother us. But if we were here for longer days, we might need to get that really fixed. Yeah, and then of course, breakfast downstairs was amazing at Alder and Ash. And we were overall just really satisfied with our stay here. And we will definitely, if we're ever, back in Seattle, which we're planning on coming back at some point, we'll probably stay here again. It's a really great location. Everything is kind of walkable. Pike Place was walkable. There's a lot of places nearby, some shopping and things. So good location. So we like that a lot. So wrapping up here, again, would recommend staying at the Sheraton Grand in downtown Seattle. You made it. We made it. All right, we made it to the port. It was super easy, actually. We just walked out of the hotel, and the bellman helped get us a taxi. It was a quick, like 10-minute drive.
15, yeah.
15-minute drive down, and we just gave our luggage to the porters, and that was pretty much it. Now we're ready to go inside. So yeah, great, smooth, easy process. Liking it so far.
That was easy.
That was easy. We gotta still go through security, I think, right? Yeah, right here. We have made it. We are on the gangway, headed towards the Quantum of the Seas. Our first non-Long Beach gangway. This is our first non-Long Beach gangway, so excited to get on board the Quantum of the Seas. We'll go over the security process in a little bit here. Right now we're just enjoying the view of the ship. All right, we are getting ready to take our first steps on the Quantum of the Seas. And here, thank you. First step on Quantum of the Seas. We're here. Awesome. First thing, we need to deck 5. Oh, right here. To Chops Grill.
Cece, watch out.
Oh, I love that.
We made it. Yep. Scooter bar.
Yeah,
Scooter bar.
Okay, 14?
14.
Yes.
Yep, let's try there. All right, so we made it on to Quantum of the Seas, and we just did our muster station drill, and we did the safety briefing earlier, so that was a really smooth process. Super efficient, and really just quick to get to the fun.
I like that it's like you're outside, but you're still covered.
Yep. Can we find a place to stay?
Start the camera.
Yeah.
Hi. Washing.
Now find a table near the. Yeah.
Maybe towards the back.
What? No, I prefer the right.
No, I mean towards the back. Like.
Yeah, that way, fine.
welcome aboard.
Thank you. Unless you want to go over there. I'm okay here.
Smorgasbord on my plate, mountains high with roast. Carving up the beef, chef moving slow like a ghost. Sweatpants flexing, waistband, no constraint. Greens piling high like cash, brush, no complaint. Tongues grip tight, salad tossing like a salad fight. Vinaigrette dripping, slip, dap it up legit delight. Bun stuffed, puffy, buttery like dough rise. Eyes glazing over, start soaking up the fries. Tongues grip tight, salad tossing like a salad fight. Vinaigrette drip the slip, dap it up legit delight. Bun stuffed, puffy, buttery like dough rise.
right, so I had my first bite of food on the Windjammer, our first bite of Royal Caribbean food. I kept it simple because I'm not super hungry, but I wanted to just get a taste. So I got some roast beef from the carving station. I got roti. I got pork schnitzel, some jasmine rice, and mashed potatoes and gravy. Overall, the food tasted great. I don't expect much of the roast beef at the carving station on any cruise we've been on because it's mass-produced roast. So it was okay. Flavor was good. The horseradish was really good, so that was nice. The gravy was nice and salty, so that's always good with the creamy potatoes. So it was a good match for that. And then the roti was just yummy. Kind of a flatbread. So overall, pretty satisfied with the first taste of Royal Caribbean. Now we're just waiting. We're gonna explore the ship a little bit more, maybe relax, and then check out our room once it's ready. All right, so we got our drink cups because we got the drink package. Courtney and I aren't very big drinkers, so we just got the soda package as what we normally get when we're on a cruise. But this one came with that collectible mug, so that's nice. I like that a lot. Let me put the Royal sign up there, the little anchor. Yeah, so to talk about security for a little bit and the whole check-in process. It's really nice. Like I said, we got dropped off by the taxi, and then we just handed the porters our luggage, and then we checked in. It was actually a pretty smooth process overall. There was the first queue line that you got to, and then you got divided up. They went over your passport and your boarding documents, and then you got up to an escalator where then there's another layer of review. So they went over your boarding pass again, and then went over kind of like some instructions of what to do from there. And then there was a holding area. So it was a big waiting area where we waited about maybe 10 minutes actually. It wasn't very, very long at all. And then it was time to get on the ship. And that's kind of where the chaos ensued. It was just like a mass of people trying to fit through a set of double doors, one at a time. They had to filter them through. So it's kind of bottlenecked at that area. And then you got outside where there was like a walkway where you took your pictures, and then another holding area where people were, they're checking the boarding passes for the final time before they let you on. And there was like 4 lines to do that. Overall, it was a quick process. We got on the ship pretty quickly. But, and I hate to compare this because we're going to be doing this a lot. We're going to be comparing it to our experience at the Long Beach terminal with Carnival, because this is our first Royal Caribbean cruise and our first time cruising out of Seattle. And the comparison is, it was just seemed way more organized in the holding area over at Carnival. And then how they divided up the groupings for boarding was a lot more organized. And there was just like single lines that went, and then they checked your final boarding. You got up with the long ramp, and then there were like 6 lines to get onto the gangway. So it was just a little bit more chaotic than what we were used to. Again, it still went really smoothly, went really quickly over here. So we did really enjoy that. And yeah, we got on the ship, and it was actually pretty empty when we got on the ship. So we were trying to figure out what to do, and we decided to go to the MDR, not the MDR, I'm sorry, to the Windjammer, the buffet, to get some food. And now we're relaxing for a little bit and just enjoying the peace and quiet. So they just announced that the rooms are ready. So we are headed down to our room, check out, get the keys, and check out our balcony. Woo-hoo. Hold me. I'll pick up. Yep. Okay, got it. we got in our room. We are in room 12572, balcony room. So here's our room tour. Start off with the front door. This is where the important information, safety information is. And then over here, you have your thermostat. And then you need a key card here to turn on the electricity in the room. Pretty standard for the cruises we've been on. And then over here, we've got a full-length mirror. And then here is the bathroom. Bathroom here. Ooh, nice glass door on the shower here. A little bit of a toilet, storage, of course the mirror, and sink, and then trash over here. Pretty good sized bathroom overall, actually. And then over here, we have some closet space. So that's nice. A little bit more storage on the sides here. And then right here, looking up here, on the right, we have our vanity / desk area. On the left, we have the couch. Nice blue couch here. And then we have waters that we had delivered to the room. And here we should have the little mini fridge and then some storage here. Storage. Of course, on the desk, there are two US plugs, and then some international plug, and then two USB plugs there. So that's cool there. Got a little bit of looks like a 40-inch TV. And then the bed we have set to be a king-size bed. More storage over here, so that's nice. That's where the safe is, very cool. And then some drawers down here. Ooh, they're soft close. That's nice. Looks like we have additional storage up here. Looks like there's bedding up here. And on the other side, ooh, this side has a power plug. That's nice. And then more storage. There's plenty of storage in this room, so that's nice. And then we have the balcony. Pull to lock, push to unlock. Is it unlocked? Yep, it's unlocked already. Ooh. Pretty nice balcony overall. Pretty spacious, actually. Nice. And then the view from our room of wonderful Seattle. All right, and that concludes the room tour of room 12572.
The ships are rocking, we're set to sail with the funky beats and the ocean's tail. Sunset glow, it's a disco show. Let's hit the deck, baby, don't say no. Captain got the swagger, ha, and the crew's got style. We're dancing on the waves, mile after mile. Sea breeze blowing in our giant shades. Ain't no party like a cruise parade. Cruising on the ocean, feel that motion. Dance until the dawn with sweet devotion. Ship our funk, we've got the ocean. Let's keep on dancing through the tidal commotion. Cabana boys and tiki toys, serve up some fun. Midnight buffet, don't need no sun. Ladies and gents in their sequin best, we spin that vinyl, put the groove to the test. Casino lights flashing, jackpot dreams, music pumping, steamy love themes. In the rhythm of the ocean, hearts beating time. Every sip of funk feels so sublime. Grooving on the ocean, feel that motion. Dance until the dawn with sweet devotion. Ship our funk, we've got the ocean. Let's keep on dancing through the tidal commotion.
So we are on the aft of the ship of the Quantum of the Seas, and beautiful view up here. It's a full, like, I don't know, 180-degree view. But that's the city of Seattle behind me. Again, amazing. We've had a really good time so far on the ship. We've just been relaxing, taking it easy, and taking the sights in. It's a very big difference from what we do with the girls, because we immediately go to the water slides and then kind of go swimming. But now we kind of just did our own thing and just hung out a little bit. So that's been really nice to do things at our own pace. I think that the biggest thing so far is being able to do things at our own pace and being able to explore and just like film things. So I was able to film like a walkthrough some of the different restaurants. Overall, a really good experience so far, and I'm really having fun. I am liking the ship a lot. The thing that I like most about the ship so far actually is, funny enough, the bathrooms. Just like the Panorama, where I really like the bathrooms compared to some of the other ships we've been on, this bathroom setup in the public restrooms were even better than the ones on the Panorama. They're really spacious, really super clean. So enjoying that aspect for sure. All right, we're gonna continue on. It's almost sail away time. So we're gonna continue on and get ready for that.
Go down to Boys and Tiki Toys, serve up some fun. Midnight buffet, don't need no sun. Ladies and gents, in a sequin best, we spin that vinyl, put the groove to the test. Casino like fashion, jackpot dreams, music pumping, steamy love themes. In the rhythm of the ocean, hearts beating time. Every sip of funk feels so sublime. Grooving on the ocean, feel that motion. Dance until the dawn with sweet devotion. Ship of funk, we got the potion. Let's keep on dancing through the tidal commotion.
Alrighty, for dinner tonight, we had dinner at Chop's Grill, the steakhouse over on the Quantum of the Seas. I have to say, first of all, that I came in with really high expectations. I've seen a lot of vloggers talk about Chop's Grill, and they've had really great experiences. Overall, it was good. It was still worth the money, but I don't think that it was exceptional. So to round off what we had for our appetizers, I had the pork belly. It was pork belly that was covered in some sticky sweet glaze. And then Courtney had the jumbo prawns. The shrimp cocktail was really, really good. There were big, meaty shrimp. The pork belly was amazing as well. It was nice and fatty, and the fat just kind of melted in your mouth. And the Asian glaze, at first I thought it was a little strong, but it actually melded really well with the pork belly. In addition to that, Courtney got the crispy goat cheese salad. Let me have a bite of that one. That was amazing. The goat cheese was actually not as kind of tangy or tart as goat cheese sometimes can be. It was a very mild flavor, but it was a good crispiness because it was deep fried in some batter. And there was some like nuts and some like dried fruit inside the salad, so it gave it a little bit of a sweetness, so that was good. And then I had the wild mushroom soup, which was 3 different kinds of mushrooms bled into the soup. It was really good, coats your stomach kind of creaminess to the mushrooms, and it felt really nice and warm, especially since it's cold outside. We are headed to Alaska, so it was a good soup for that. Now, as far as the entree goes, Courtney had the New York strip perfectly cooked at the medium rare, really good seasoning on it, and she had it with a béarnaise sauce, and the béarnaise sauce was nice and creamy. What I had was the bone-in prime rib with the pepper sauce. Pepper sauce was amazing. Really good pepper flavor to it. The ribeye, unfortunately, I went with the chef's recommendation to have it cooked at medium, which was good so that the fat could render out. And it was indeed a marbly piece of ribeye, which was good, but it was very under-seasoned. I had to add salt to it, and then I had to put a lot of the sauce on it. We ordered multiple sides, and then we kind of shared with each other. She had the Yukon mashed potatoes, which were nice and buttery. She also had the mac and cheese, and the mac and cheese was kind of just eh. I had the sauteed mushrooms. Unfortunately, the sauteed mushrooms were a little overcooked, so they were a little chewy. And then I also had the truffle fries. They tasted like stale fries that were kind of reheated. I do have to say that I purposely picked what I had because I wanted to compare it to the steakhouse, the Fahrenheit 555 steakhouses that we've had recently on Carnival. And the last time I had it, I had a spiced ribeye, and that one was super flavorful and amazing with a great crust on it. So I really enjoyed that. And then I also had the French fries at Fahrenheit 555, and those French fries were nice and crispy on the outside, but still kind of really soft and fluffy on the inside. So that was a great French fry. And then the stuffed mushrooms were just stuffed mushrooms. Comparing it back to back, it just wasn't that great. So I really wish that the ribeye was a little more seasoned. As far as dessert goes, Courtney had the key lime pie, which she said was amazing. You could see her wince whenever she was eating it. You know, you get that kind of like owie feeling in your neck. So that was a good mark of a good tart key lime pie. What I had was the equivalent of the Carnival chocolate melting cake that's available at the MDR on all the Carnival ships. It was good. It wasn't, it had a really good dark chocolate flavor, which was nice. And they paired it with a berry compote and vanilla ice cream. So it tasted great. It was a good gooey center in it. The only issue I had with it, and this is just a textural thing, was it was kind of crispy crunchy on the outside, which I wasn't expecting. Normally when I've had, you know, those kinds of cakes, it's usually kind of a soft sponge all throughout. This one had kind of like an edge to it. Some people might really like that. It was not what I was expecting, so I was a little bit disappointed by that, but the flavor was spot on. Our waiter was Ram. He was amazing. He was very attentive, came to check on us multiple times. Always asked to see, you know, if there was, to check to see how we were enjoying everything, if there's anything else that we wanted or anything like that. So that was really, really great. Overall, I still enjoyed my time at Chops Grill. It just wasn't as good as I was hoping or as I was expecting, but it was still definitely worth the money that we paid for it because it is an upcharge. So I would still recommend Chops Grill to anyone. Just temper your expectations, and maybe it's different for the different things you tried. So overall, highlights were the bacon, the wild mushroom soup, and then the Yukon Gold mashed potatoes. Those were definitely my highlights.
We've got a very clever bunch tonight. Everybody, the majority is your life vest, your life jacket. So if you said this, you get the point. Very well done, guys.
Something special, someone sacred in your life.
Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning out on the Pacific Ocean, on the quantum of the seas. We just got up and got ready, and we are headed to Sea Day breakfast over at one of the main MDRs on 4 Aft. So we will continue vlogging once we get there. We'll see what there is on offer. Okay, so our first stop was at the cafe with the Starbucks to get some coffee. We have a coffee card, which you can redeem for drinks. So we'll go explain that in a little bit later. So we're getting our morning coffee. We don't normally drink coffee, but we decided we're going to try something different on this ship. So we shall see. Okay, so change of plans. It was super busy. It was a really long line to go to the MDRs for breakfast. So we decided to go to the Solarium Bistro and do the breakfast buffet there, rather than going up to the Windjammer Marketplace. Overall, I really like the setup. It's nice and small and kind of an intimate feeling buffet. So definitely enjoy that. And we'll see how the food is. We'll continue to try it and review it.
Golden sunlight creeping in the window, long table laid out with the morning glow, pancakes soaking in a syrup of sea, eggs and bacon calling out to me. Over to the coffee board, black like night. Bread rolls and butter gonna be a delight. Oh, the choices ain't easy, everything's so fine. Fruit so fresh, oh, the juice divine. Fill my plate with dreams of morning glory. Every bite a new chapter in my story. Endless feast from sunrise till noon. Gonna eat it till I'm howling at the moon.
A few moments later.
Traditional diamonds, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, something that's become very, very heard of lab-grown diamonds by show of hands.
All right, so we just finished the port shopping presentation. It was nice. It was going over the different shopping options at the different ports. So Ketchikan, Juneau, and Sitka showed you some deals that they would have and things like that. A little bit of a sales pitchy thing for the diamonds and the jewelry and stuff, but they did offer some good discounts. So that was an interesting thing that we've never done before, because we wouldn't have been able to do it. Because on our other cruises, the girls are with us, so we're usually at the pool or water slides. So that was definitely a big change for us. All right, so we decided to try out Splash Away Cafe, which is near the outdoor pool, and it has some Asian food. So we ordered a chicken satay and the seafood stir-fry noodle, and also the seafood shrimp wonton noodle soup. So we will see how that is and give a review of that food. I hope it's delicious. It smells good in here, so we'll see. You can see the steam coming off of it. All right, so a wrap up. The chicken satay was okay. The peanut sauce was very watery. I don't even know if it actually was peanut sauce. The flavor on the chicken was good. It was grilled, so it had some good seasoning on it. Courtney had the seafood noodles. Those actually weren't bad. They were a thicker noodle, kind of like an udon noodle actually, but the sauce was fine. And we had to add some soy sauce to it just to give it a little bit more saltiness to it. From everything we ate, it was probably the best tasting thing that we'd had. The last thing that I had was the shrimp wonton noodle soup. The wonton didn't seem like shrimp. It seemed like meatball that was wrapped in a wonton and then cut in half. And then it had a little bit of looks like bok choy and some green onion. There was seasoning in the actual wonton itself. The best thing in that bowl was probably actually the noodles, which were well cooked. I don't understand why the signs on the outside, like the actual built-in signs, say that they have dim sum and milk tea, because they do not. So we're actually here at the Windjammer, get some more sustenance because it just wasn't enough. Alrighty, so a wrap up of the buffet. I had the whole roasted chicken from or I didn't have the whole roasted chicken.
Chicken chaser. Do you chase chickens?
And I had a piece of the whole roasted chicken. I had the chicken thigh from the carvery station. And then I'd had some jasmine rice and some beef stir fry with vegetables. That part was really good. All of that was amazing. The chicken was super juicy and flavorful. And the beef stir fry, the vegetables were really well seasoned and the sauce was good. The beef was a little overcooked, but that's fine because, you know, it's been sitting in a pan at the buffet under some warming lamps. And then I also had a cheeseburger with pickles and red onions and then some French fries. French fries were actually really well cooked. They were better cooked, I felt, than the French fries that I got at the Chops Grill last night. The burger was okay, just the basic burger. After that, we went to another presentation on rare jewels and gems. So kind of learning more about clarity, cut, color, carats, things like that. So that was interesting. And then now we're back at our room and we're just going to take a nap. Tonight is elegant night. So I think it's going to be the first night that we're eating in the MDR. We did try to get our table changed because we were originally booked to be at a really large table. We did ask to see if we could change our table and we were able to get that, just a table for two. So we are going to do that tonight. And don't underestimate the importance of body language. All right, we just did some karaoke. That was really, really fun. And now we are headed to dinner. It's our first night in the MDR. So we are in the Grand restaurant over in on deck 3. I'm looking forward to trying the MDR on Royal Caribbean, so we will see how that goes and review the food. The Bionic Bar drink that I had, the punch drink, was really good. It was kind of tangy, it was kind of sweet, it was nice and refreshing. It was definitely a, you know, cruising drink, so I definitely appreciated that. And to have it done and made by a robot was excellent. So, yep, now it's dinner time.
On board the Quantum of the Seas here, we have a time change this evening. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, before you go to bed, 1 hour back. So an extra sleep tonight, 1 hour back.
Alrighty, so we just had dinner over at the Grand main dining room. It's on the 3rd floor aft of the Quantum of the Seas. Overall, the dinner was pretty delicious. Let's have a rundown of what we ordered. First, we had the bread plate. So there's 2 kinds of bread in it. They had the cheese bread and the sourdough. Sourdough was nice and crusty. Good basic chewy sourdough flavor. It was chewier than the other bread, which was the cheese bread. The cheese bread was very soft, but had a very good kind of almost sweet flavor to it. So it was a good counterpoint to the sourdough. All right, so for the appies, Courtney had the butternut squash soup and she had the Caesar salad. Butternut squash soup was nice and creamy, if a little peppery, she said. The Caesar salad was good. The dressing was a little bland, but you could have added salt and pepper to it, probably make it taste better. The lettuce was a touch wilty, but overall, just a good Caesar salad. I had the escargot bourguignon. The escargot was delicious. It was nice and garlicky. Tasted a lot like mushrooms, actually, the texture. But it was very buttery, very garlicky, very full of flavor. I really enjoyed the escargots. The other thing I did not enjoy so much, and that was the French onion soup. I love French onion soup. I love the bread that's floating on top. I love the Gruyere cheese. This one was very, very savory, more savory than I've had it in the past. It seemed to lack a little bit in the sweetness of the onions. You would hope there would be a strong onion flavor with French onion soup. So it was nice and hot though. I do have to give it that. And then for the main course, I had the seafood linguine, and Courtney had the chicken cordon bleu. Chicken cordon bleu was perfectly fried with that gooey cheese on the inside and the ham. And then it was paired with mashed potatoes and some vegetables. So she really enjoyed that. That was great. And then for me, I had the seafood linguine. Pasta was perfectly cooked. It was nice and creamy. The seafood in it, there was supposed to be scallops, mussels, and shrimp. Shrimp was nice and sweet, also perfectly cooked. The mussels were good. Most of them were a little briny, but one was perfect, where it was just a nice kind of sea flavor to it. And then there was only one scallop. That was disappointing. I really wish there was like at least another scallop. But overall, really, really good. And then at the end, we had dessert. Courtney had the cheese plate, which she liked a lot. The blue cheese paired really well with the fig jam. And then I had the creme brulee. Creme brulee was a nice flavor. It wasn't super sweet, super syrupy, like some creme brulees tend to be. Overall, happy with our first meal at the MDR over at the Grand and tonight's Taste of France menu. Good flavors pretty much all around.
Contestants, are you ready to start? Yes? Audience, are you ready?
Yeah! But when I come home to you, I find the things that you do will make you feel alright. So after dinner, we watched a game, saw some cool karaoke with a live rock band, and then decided to call it a night. Stopped by for some pizza at Sorrento's, and that was pretty much it.
Ketchikan was incorporated on August 25th, 1900, and is the earliest incorporated city in Alaska still in existence today. Ketchikan Creek, which the town is named after, was a summer fish camp for the Tlingit natives before the town was established by Mike Martin in 1885, with fishing and canneries as its primary industries. Today, Ketchikan, also known as the salmon capital of the world, is a popular tourist destination as a port stop for many Alaskan cruises. Highlights include the Misty Fjords National Monument, the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, and historic Creek Street.
Rainy days and twilight haze, seagulls trace the sky. Salmon dance in silver streams under twilight's gentle light. Timber falls and echoes old across the valley wide. Ketchikan, oh Ketchikan, in your arms I bide. Where the eagles grace the heavens and the rivers run so free.
Good morning from Ketchikan, Alaska. We just got in this morning, got some footage of pulling into the bay here. And yeah, we are just heading over to Jellyfish Donuts. Saw a vlog of it featured, so we wanted to try it out because it looked delicious. All right, so got the famous salmon donut from Jellyfish Donuts. So we're gonna try this out and see how it is. Ooh, definitely smells salmony and green oniony. So we'll see. That's interesting. So the donut isn't sweet at all. It's like a cake donut, but it's not super sweet. It has tastes like smoked salmon in the cream cheese, and then a very strong onion flavor. Very good. Yeah. It's weird because the texture is like a donut. I was expecting it to kind of feel like a bagel, but it's not like a bagel at all. It's soft like a donut. But recommend the salmon donut over at Jellyfish Donuts.
Oh, catch a can, you're the song inside of me. With your tales of ancient spirits and your heart of evergreen. Catch a can, oh, catch a can, you're the dream I've always seen. Shadows play on rusted docks, history's tale unfolds.
All right, so we have made our way to Creek Street, and we've just been exploring a little bit. This used to be a red light district over in Ketchikan, but it's now grown out of that, obviously, and it's a tourist destination. It's pretty low tide, so there aren't a lot of sea otters or seals coming up the creek, I guess. And of course, it's too early in the season for salmon, but still really, really beautiful views. It's a wonderful day today. The sun's come out, it's very sunny. We were expecting a lot of rain today, but didn't happen so far, so really good. Pretty easy walk getting from the dock and then up to Creek Street is maybe just like a block and a half or 2 blocks, so it was nice. Again, we're just going to keep exploring. We don't really have much of an itinerary today besides just exploring Ketchikan, maybe getting some good seafood and then buying some souvenirs. It is our first step in Alaska and we're enjoying it so far. All right, so we are here at the Ketchikan Crab and Go in Alaska. Decided to stop by for some lunch. A couple places we looked at had good reviews. This had good reviews, as did the Alaska Fish House, but the Alaska Fish House has this line. And if you followed us for any length of time, you'd know that I really despise lines. I can't stand it. So we decided to go next door. The reviews were just as good at the Ketchikan Crab and Go. So here we are, trying it out. What we ordered some crab fries, some clam chowder, and then half a Dungeness crab. So we will review that as we go along. Look at this view, guys. Is that awesome or what? And it was really sunny earlier today, but the clouds have come in and now it's getting cold again and it's just starting to drip some rain down. So yeah, it's about to get exciting. Definitely different weather than we experience in Vegas. So good. So good. So sweet. The crab is so sweet. It tastes so fresh.
whispers in the wind, stories brave and bold. Totem poles standing tall, guardians of this land. Outsiders understand.
All right, so a rundown of Ketchikan so far. We had lunch at the Ketchikan Crab and Go, and that was delicious. The Dungeness crab was so sweet, so fresh tasting, and it was nice and chilled, and the warm butter was, of course, buttery, but perfect flavor on that. The crab fries were so delicious. There was some kind of aioli on it. The fries were nice and crunchy, and the crab again was shredded and super sweet. There was so much crab in it. There was a crab in every bite. And then the clam chowder was super thick and smoky because I think there was bacon in it too. So there's so much clams in it that every bite had chewiness to it. Also, just really thick and creamy. Definitely well worth the price. The one thing that we enjoyed was that I showed you that there was a really long wait at the Alaska Fish House. We just walked right up to Ketchikan Crab and Go, and we got seated right away. We came at just the right time because right after that, there was a long line of people waiting to be seated. So definitely recommend Ketchikan Crab and Go. And after that, we did a little bit more shopping, checking around the main strip on Front Street. And now, right before we go back on the ship, we're gonna stop by right in front. There's a couple little shops. There's a little fish and chip shop and then a bubble tea shop. So we're getting some bubble tea right now. We'll check in again once we're on board. Alrighty, just got up from a little bit of an afternoon nap, and now we're headed to Izumi for dinner. What is that for?
Thank you.
All right, so we just got seated at Izumi. We are doing the prefix menu. So you get one starter, 2 large plates, and then a dessert. We actually might get a little bit extra because we are extra hungry. We did a lot of walking over in Ketchikan today. And it's been a while since lunchtime because we're being seated here at 8 o'clock. Miso soup comes with it, so we're gonna have miso soup. I'm gonna be getting the crispy chicken karaage, and Courtney's gonna be getting the tofu ginger salad. And then for the large plates, I will be getting the assorted sashimi and the poke bowl, while Courtney will be getting the beef teriyaki and the snow crab California roll. And then for dessert, we're both going to get the mochi ice cream because we like mochi ice cream. So then we will review as we go along. But I'm very excited because I could do for some sushi. I can always do for some sushi though, so that's not saying anything. All right, so just a little bit of a wrap up from Izumi. Y'all, that is the best place to eat on this ship. It was some of the best food I've had on this trip so far. It was really flavorful. The fish was super fresh. It was just really good. Starting off with the edamame. The edamame came out and there was so much salt on it that it looked like a scene from Scarface. And I was a little worried because it was a lot of salt. But you know, you spread it out all over the edamame and it was great because you had the saltiness, but also the sweetness of the edamame itself. So that was delicious. And then moved right into the small plates. The chicken karaage was the highlight for me. It was
chicken shicer,
crispy, well seasoned, and then the dipping sauce was nice and sweet. Oh, Courtney had the salad. The ginger dressing was really good as well. And then we also had the dynamite shrimp. It was kind of like a crab rangoon, but like on a cooked shrimp. So it has cream cheese, some scallions, And then there was something spicy in it. I don't quite know exactly what the spice was, but that was really well balanced and really great flavors. On top of that, we had the larger plates. I had the poke bowl, which was delicious. Came with tuna and avocado, salmon, a seaweed salad, some rice. And then I also had the sashimi platter, which had 3 pieces each of cooked shrimp, yellowtail, salmon, and tuna. All of it really fresh, really firm, tasted perfect. And then Courtney had the beef teriyaki bowl, and she said that that was really great as well. Nice and flavorful, the beef was tender. And then to top it off with dessert, we had some mochi. I had strawberry, green tea, and chocolate. She had strawberry and green tea. She loved the strawberry. To me, it was a little too sweet. Tasted a little bit like Nestle Quick strawberry mix. I really love the green tea and the chocolate being my favorite. So that was really great. Izumi is definitely a must-do if you're on the Quantum of the Seas. Alrighty, and that wraps up day 3, Ketchikan Day, on Quantum of the Seas. Good morning and welcome to Sitka, Alaska. We just got up pretty recently here, and it's an early morning at Sitka. We have an excursion planned, and we're going to be hiking the historic trail. And we are just now at the Solarium Bistro getting some breakfast. So it's pretty much the same breakfast. It's the buffet. It's more limited than what's at the actual Windjammer, but it works fine for us. It's just 2 floors right above us, and it's kind of easier to get in and out, and it doesn't have the same hustle and bustle as the Windjammer does. So we're gonna enjoy some breakfast, and then we will take you along as we go through Sitka.
Okay? Super. Once again, it's small.
So we're in the Royal Theatre meeting for the excursions. We booked ours later yesterday afternoon, so we don't actually have the printed tickets, so we're gonna go check in and see if we can get those tickets.
Located on the west side of Baranof Island, Sitka is the 5th most populated city in the state of Alaska. Russian explorers settled in the area in 1799, establishing Fort of Archangel Michael. There were years of battles between the Tlingit natives and the settlers, culminating in the Battle of Sitka in 1804. In 1808, it was designated the capital of Russian America.
All right, so we are off the ship and headed to the terminal to get on the shuttle for our excursion. And this is the Holland America Westerdam next to us. It's a pretty giant ship.
Yeah. Bigger than ours.
In U.S. history, Sitka is known as the site of the transfer ceremony for the Alaska Purchase. Highlights of Sitka include the Sitka National Historical Park and Museum, St. Michael's Cathedral, Baranof Castle Hill, Fortress of the Bear, and the Alaska Raptor Center.
We're exercising.
We are. There's some activity going on. We are on the bus, getting ready for our excursion. Bus number 420. Excited to do some hiking. Said us never. I'm hoping we see some wildlife. That would be nice, like maybe a bald eagle, or even a haired eagle. Some kind of eagle would be nice. Maybe a banana slug. I haven't seen a banana slug since Santa Cruz days.
Alrighty guys, as we're getting ready to roll out of here, if you would do me a quick favor, if your name is Mike or Michael, would you just raise your hand for me? Thank you, that concludes our mic check. Well, welcome to Sitka. So we are the 5th largest city up here in Alaska by population. So we have around 8,500 year-round residents here on the island. Although at the moment our population is a bit closer to 9,000, since we do have all of our seasonal workers coming up here for our tourism season. So like me, I am a seasonal worker here at Sitka. So I'm from Fairbanks, Alaska, so just a bit further north. I like to come down to to Sitka for the summers just to escape all the mosquitoes that are up in Fairbanks. Since we're right on the ocean here in Sitka, there's a lot of running water, so we don't see too much of our state birds here. So that's pretty nice. So you're gonna look at your hand. We'll start with our thumb. Our first salmon is called chum salmon. It rhymes with your thumb, nice and easy. Chum and thumb. Chum is the cheapest of the salmon, so it's put in dog food, cat food. We even serve it to passengers on cruise ships. Okay, we just do that with Carnival. Next is your pointer finger, and I don't know about you guys, but this is the finger I use to sock people in the eyes. That's your sockeye salmon. Next is your middle finger, and this is your biggest finger for our biggest salmon, which is our king salmon. And if someone gets on your bad side, you can give them the king salmon salute. Next is your ring finger, and traditionally that's where you put your wedding ring, which is usually a very nice silver, so you have your silver salmon. And lastly is your pinky finger. This one's real easy. This is for your pink salmon. The pink is also the smallest type of salmon, which goes hand in hand with your smallest finger. So chum, sockeye, king, silver, and pink. Now, if any of you are wanting to perhaps walk around and enjoy the park, I would recommend that you take our totem trail loop. It starts right here on our right past these first three totem poles, the two short ones and the one tall one. The totem trail loop is about 1 mile in length. It'll take you past most of our totems that are on display, as well as the seafront here to our right. It's going to end right on the water side of that visitor center.
All right, so we are on the totem trail in the at the Sitka Historical Park. It is super green. It's crazy how many levels of variations of green there are, but it is very beautiful out here. Really, really tall trees, incredible lichen on the stumps of the trees or the trunks. It's pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure this was the spot that the hobbits were hiding in when they were running away from the Nazgul. So there are a couple different trails that you can take through the park. It's apparently a really large park. So there's an option to go on the longer Russian trail behind me. And that's what you take this bridge over. So it's a really beautiful bridge over a little river / creek thing. Otherwise, we're taking the totem trail. So we're actually gonna go back the way we came and go down. It's a little bit of a, we don't know how much time we want to spend inside the park. So we're gonna just do that and then maybe go to the visitor center after that. Doing the Russian trail adds another, I think, 30 to 45 minutes to the hike. The totem trail already is going to take about 30 to 45 minutes. So if you're looking to do that whole thing, it'll take you probably about an hour and a half, depending on, your mobility. But we're going to take the totem trail. So one thing I learned on our research into going into Alaska was I didn't realize that Sitka is a rainforest. Growing up, I was used to hearing about rainforests that were in a jungle or in a tropical place. So this is the first time I've realized that there's other rainforests that are not necessarily in warmer climates. And even the shuttle, the tour person was talking about how they were really happy for today's weather because it's not raining, because I guess it rains for the majority of the year here. Definitely very glad that it's It's a nice day today. I think we were the first shuttle here, so the park itself is kind of empty. So it's been kind of nice. So we had a little bit of excitement while we were on the beach trail, just, following the shoreline here. While we had stopped, we suddenly heard a loud crash through the trees, and there were these 3 bald eagles that were locked together fighting, like circling around in the air, and then they finally split up before they hit the ground and then flew off in other directions. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on camera. It was they were going so fast, it happened so fast that I couldn't react fast enough to get it. So unfortunately we didn't get that footage, but it was really cool to see.
This is what I'm working on now, and I'm laying these pieces out to make, like here, teeth for this guy.
Well, that's cool.
It's a warrior helmet, like I have here. That was a show I did some years ago, but these are from a red turban snail. It's a sea snail, and it's the trap door that blocks the opening of their shell. And that's what I'll be using for teeth.
It shall pour. That's about.
The cultural center in the history museum was really cool. Got to learn a little bit of history of Sitka. There was a lot of conflict between the natives and the Russians. The Tlingit, there was a lot of conflict. There were cannons and all sorts of like rebellion and retribution. I didn't realize that while this was a Russian place, it was named New Arkhangelsk in Russian, Novo Arkhangelsk, and then it's been renamed back to Sitka, or as I guess the natives would pronounce it, Shitka. Small, really small town. There's just like a church right in the middle of downtown and just shops kind of all around it. Maybe like 2 blocks of activity. And then right across is the shuttle center to take you back to the cruise terminal. Yep, had a really great time in the forest. That rainforest was amazing. Got to see a bald eagle, so that was nice. So we just did a little bit of shopping. Everywhere we kind of wanted to eat had long lines, so I think we're just gonna check to see if there's some food places near the terminal, and then head back on the ship. All right, so we are at Halibut Point Crab and Chowder. It's right here actually at the cruise terminal for Sitka. We're going to check out to see how good the food is. I like that it's right next to the ships, so we can get a quick bite to eat and then get right back on the ship. We are back on the ship. We took a little bit of a nap. It is glorious being able to take naps. Just wanted to follow up on what happened after, or our review of the Halibut Point Crab and Chowder. It was super good, y'all. It was really, really, really good. The crab dip was the highlight. It was nice and creamy and very cheesy with some scallions in it. So that was really, really good. Crostinis were perfectly seasoned, nice and crunchy. And then we also had the Fisherman's Sampler, which came with lingcod and halibut, and then French fries, and a cup of clam chowder. The clam chowder was really good flavor in it. Not as smoky as the one we had yesterday, but just really good clam flavor. Lots of clams in there, lots of potatoes. It was waterier than the other one. The other one yesterday was thicker, but the flavor was just as good. So definitely recommend the Halibut Point Crab and Chowder place. It's right there when you get off the ship. So it's at the little cruise terminal. And by the way, the cruise terminal is awesome. It looks really nice that they're building it up and getting other restaurants and stores in there. Highly recommend going to the National Forest and taking that hike there. We got to see some bald eagles. Right now we're gonna go to dinner. We are at the MDR tonight. It's Italian night. So I'm not gonna take the camera with me. I'll just be taking some pictures and things like that. And then I'll go over it once we're back.
On the edge of the ocean where the eagles roam, to the whisper of the pines in the twilight gloam, in the heart of Sika, where memories weave, there's a tale in the winds of those who believe.
Make some noise for Travis Fuller. Oh, what a night, late December back in '63. Sherry, baby, come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love and your softly. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby.
Alrighty, so I just want to give a rundown for our evening. We had dinner at the MDR, the Appies. Beef carpaccio was good. I first had it on the Carnival Radiance, and I really loved it there. So I would maybe not pay for it, but I would definitely try it again if it was on another menu. So I tried it again tonight. This one was not as good. It wasn't as seasoned. It was a little milder, but it was still really good. I would still probably order it again. The arancini was delicious. It is nice and creamy inside and cheesy with the rice balls, and that sauce was really good. Wilted spinach and romesco sauce and the arancini all together, that was great. As far as the mains go, the mushroom risotto, I'm not a big fan of truffle oil, so that was a little bit of a letdown to me. The mushroom risotto was nice. It was kind of velvety, smooth, buttery, but yeah, I just was not a fan of truffle oil. I'm just not a fan of truffle oil in general. The New York strip, it was a basic New York strip. It was a perfect temperature. It was nice and tender. It also came with a little baked potato and broccoli and carrots. I'm definitely enjoying the food at the MDR more on Quantum than I have on the Carnival ships. There's individual things on the Carnival ship that I enjoy more, but tonight, with it being Italian night, they did a little thing where they played Italian music and the waiters did a little parade and waving their towels in the air. That was nice. It was quaint. Definitely nothing like the showtime that happens on the Carnival ships. Showtime. For those of you who know, you know. After that, we went to go see a show. Travis Clower, who is the longest running actor to play Frankie Valli on Jersey Boys, the musical. That dude had an amazing vocal range and very, very crystal clear without getting tinny. Just a wonderful show. He was really getting the audience involved too. And he performs in Vegas. So yeah, so he's in Vegas, performs in Vegas, lives in Vegas. He is going to be doing a show in August at the Aliante. We'll probably try to make some time to go see him. And that pretty much wraps up the evening. It's going to be a early morning tomorrow. We are going through the Endicott Arm up to the Dawes Glacier, and we're expected to start pulling into that area at around 4:30 in the morning. It's now just a little after 10 o'clock, 10:30. It's going to be an early morning. And we're going to be doing that in the morning, and then we're going to have a break as we start cruising towards Juneau, and we'll get to Juneau at about 1 o'clock. right, good morning everyone. We are on deck 15 on the Quantum of the Seas. It is Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier Day. We are slowly drifting into up the Endicott Arm, past the fjords, into getting close to the glacier. It's about 4:30 in the morning, a little after that, 4:45, and the scenery is breathtaking. It's absolutely amazing. It's crazy. Alright, so we're getting closer to the glacier. It's amazing because the water has changed color. It's a little greener, a little milkier, but there's definitely tons of little icebergs that are like floating by us. As we get closer, there's more and more chunks of ice. So we'll see how far we can actually get, or how close we can actually get to the glacier. I'm really hoping that we get close enough to get some good footage. And some good memories. Footage first. Alrighty, so we are almost at our furthest point that we can get to without endangering the safety of the ship because of all the ice that's around. So we're going to get there, and then the ship is going to turn as we're going through there, just so we can get, everybody on the different parts of the ship can get a good look at it.
The city of Juneau was founded in 1880 as a gold mining town and is named after prospector Joe Juneau from Quebec. It became the capital city of Alaska in 1906. Downtown Juneau is nestled at the base of Mount Juneau, across the channel from Douglas Island. Juneau and Honolulu, Hawaii are unique among U.S. state capitals in that there are no roads connecting the cities to the rest of the state or to the contiguous United States. All goods coming in and out of Juneau must be transported by plane or boat.
All right, we have made it to Juneau, Alaska. We're just ported over here, and we're waiting for the go-ahead to go down to the gangway and get off the ship. The plans today are to hopefully visit the Mendenhall Glacier, spend some time there, maybe check out Nugget Falls, and then come back in time for our excursion. We have a salmon bake. So get ready to eat some salmon today. So far, Juneau looks like a cute little town for the capital city of Alaska. Looks pretty sweet though. All right, we are in Juneau. Juneau. One of those.
I was like, I'm not sure.
Okay.
We're all different.
All right, so trying to get a quick bus or shuttle to the glacier is not panning out like we expected. Based on other vloggers we've seen, there used to be a shuttle that you could just get right off here and then it just ran every 30 minutes. But apparently, according to their website, they don't do that any longer. So you can't just take a 30-minute ride to the glacier, go, and then come back. Everything else is a minimum of 3 hours, and we kind of have to be back here for our excursion to the salmon bake in 3 hours, so none of those just work for us. So we're now trying to see if there's any alternatives to see if we can get to the Mendenhall Glacier or not. Wish us luck. Salmon bake.
The two largest contributors to Juneau's economy are the commercial fishing industry and tourism. An estimated 1.65 million cruise ship passengers visited Juneau from May to October 2023. Highlights include the Mendenhall Glacier, Alaska State Museum, Mount Roberts Tramway, and Gold Creek Salmon Bake.
That's awesome. Alrighty, folks, we have made it to Tracy's King Crab Shack over near the pier in Juneau, Alaska. We were hoping to get to the Mendenhall Glacier, but like I said, that didn't quite pan out. So we're just making do, which is fine. This gives us some time to do some shopping.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Could I see your receipt real quick, please? Yep, there you go. Perfect. So there's the beer battered shrimp for you. Awesome. There's the crab cake roll.
Oh, wow.
There's the crab cake.
Yum.
There's the two fish.
Awesome.
And there's the Dungeness crab.
Yes.
Some jasmine rice. And here's a crab cutter for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So as you see, our food just got here. So gonna take some footage of the food and eat some delicious crab. Oh yeah, looking forward to this. Oh. Yeah, it's really good shrimp. All right, so that was the aftermath from Tracy's King Crab Shack. It was so good. It was a really good value, actually. $45. Got that Dungeness crab, got the 4 mini crab cakes, and the crab bisque, which was awesome. It was creamy, salty, tangy, a little spicy, just a party in your mouth. It was so good. And then I didn't realize how much food it was going to be, so I wanted a side of jasmine rice to go with the bisque, because that's a classic combination. And I didn't think it was going to be that much food. I thought it was going to be kind of small, based on our experience. So I also ordered beer battered shrimp. It was nice and crispy with a good salty flavor to it, and the shrimp was sweet inside and it was perfectly cooked. It just ended up being way too much food. Courtney said I should have shared instead of had all that food, but you know. And then now, in like 2 hours, we go to a salmon bake. So we're gonna eat more. That's all we're doing in Juneau apparently, is eating. You know, my excuse is I was stress eating because I was disappointed in not being able to go to the glacier. But that's okay. Got beautiful pictures of the Dawes Glacier and the Endicott Arms, so that was awesome. So yeah, so after this, we're just gonna do a little bit of shopping, and then I will start recording again when we go to our tour to the salmon bake. right, so we stopped at the Alaska Fudge Company to get some treats for ourselves. That's after we did some shopping at the Alaska T-shirt company. We got a couple truffles and some fudge, and I got a chocolate milkshake, which was divine. Not super sweet, but just a deep chocolate flavor. So highly recommend going to the Alaska Fudge Company. It is locally owned and operated, so definitely support small businesses. Now we're waiting for our excursion. We are going to the salmon bake here. We're just waiting for the bus to arrive to take us to the salmon bake. All right, so we have made it to the Gold Creek Salmon Bake, and we have just finished eating. There was some salad, some coleslaw, some gherkins. Looks like there were some spicy pickles, some olives. There was some cornbread, some ribs, some beets, and then the salmon. Obviously, that's why everybody got the tickets to come here, so that they could have the salmon. It was grilled salmon. I'm not sure what kind of salmon it was, but super red and flaky. Just look at the color of that salmon. Yeah, that is crazy. Definitely not farmed salmon there.
Not Smith's grocery store salmon.
It's definitely not Smith's grocery store salmon. That's not the kind of salmon that we normally get, so definitely enjoying that salmon. And they put some kind of brown butter sugar glaze on it. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely go for it. The salmon is well cooked. Also, first time I've ever had a salad with salmon in it. So I'm not sure if it's like a salmon Caesar or what, but it's definitely like a Caesar-y dressing with some bits of salmon in it. So that's definitely something new. Yeah, if you like salmon, definitely a place to go is the Salmon Bake over at Gold Creek here in Juneau, Alaska. Oh yeah, we also got clam chowder, like a sampler, like a shot of clam chowder. But you know, hit the spot. We'd already had some crab bisque earlier, so, and we've had plenty of clam chowder so far this trip. It was good clam chowder. It was very herby. It was lots of herbs in it. If you like salmon, if you like clam chowder, and if you just like sitting in the great outdoors with the smell of the fire, things like that. There's also a fire going on where you could roast marshmallows. So if you like that, definitely come out to Gold Creek Salmon Bake. Good evening, everybody. We are wrapping up the evening from Juneau, Alaska. After the salmon bake, which was pretty awesome, actually, we took the shuttle back to the terminal and then got back on the ship. And it was pretty much time for dinner. We wanted to put an appearance in and see Jose and Happy again, our wait staff. And we basically just had some appetizers and dessert. I tried the buffalo chicken dip, and Courtney had the shrimp cocktail and the Caesar salad. Pretty typical for cruises. They usually have shrimp cocktail and they usually have a Caesar salad. So I'm assuming it was pretty standard. The buffalo chicken dip I'd never seen on a cruise menu before, so I wanted to try it. I couldn't find a trace of buffalo in it, so I don't know where the buffalo was supposed to come in. I'd actually ended up asking for some hot sauce. They brought me out some Tabasco sauce. to add a little bit of depth of flavor to it. It was a good consistency and everything, and they had these little fresh tortilla chips that they put in there. So it tasted fine, but it definitely needed some buffalo sauce or some kind of hot sauce in it. And then I also wanted to try out, they had lobster mac and cheese. It was a good consistency, nice and cheesy, different little chunks of lobster and langoustines in it. It was a little under-seasoned, so I also added hot sauce to it, which brought it up a notch. For dessert, we both had ice cream. Courtney had strawberry ice cream, and then I had vanilla ice cream. We wanted to see the waitstaff because Jose and Happy are amazing. After dinner, we decided to go watch the karaoke over at the music hall. Tonight was people trying out to go to the Karaoke Superstars finals that are happening on Sunday. They only had 5 people actually sign up for it, and then they were encouraging other people to sign up. So Courtney and I actually ended up doing it. Courtney did Defying Gravity and Rock the House. It was an amazing performance. And then I ended up doing I Started a Joke by the Bee Gees. It seemed to go well. Not that we're really interested in doing the competition, but we just really wanted to sing karaoke and kind of confront our fears. So we did that, and we had a lot of fun, and I'm super proud of us. So good job for giving it a try. And that wraps up the video for tonight. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of new videos on our channel. And please share this with your friends and family if you do like the video. Good night. Good morning, everyone. We are on our 7th day, our last day of the cruise, and it is a rough one. There are some rough waters going on outside. I'll get some footage of that. Today is another partial sea day. We actually dock in Victoria, British Columbia. That'll be at 5 o'clock, and then we're there for I think 4 hours or so. If you don't know, that's because of the act that was passed for cruising that said that you'd have to visit an international stop. So this port is a result of that. So we have to stop at Vancouver Island to be in compliance with this law. So we're going to stop by Victoria. Not sure if we're going to do much in Victoria. We do want to see the Empress Hotel. It looks like a really beautiful hotel, so we might check that out. Maybe grab something to eat, like a beaver tail or something. And then just get back on the ship and have dinner and close out the night and close out the cruise. Today's going to be a pretty boring day, honestly. We have lunch plans at Izumi, and then we're going to be packing and getting ready to go. We also signed up for Port Valet, which is something that the City of Seattle does, which is you basically get your luggage tags for your airline printed out. You leave it out just as normal for any cruise, except that your baggage goes directly to the airport and gets checked in for your flight. So we're going to test that out and see if that works or not. Otherwise, we'll just be checking in periodically today. We'll check in when we're at Victoria as well. Yeah, it is a cloudy, foggy, rainy day today. The seas are actually not as rough as they were yesterday, but it's still pretty crazy out there.
How spicy that spicy crispy shrimp roll is.
If it's like everything else,
Probably not very.
probably not. But then it might be the one thing that is. I don't know. That's good.
Next on the line, please. Hey, how's it going? Good, thank you. Awesome. If I do a grande, just take that. No, actually, I guess I'll.
That's crazy. It's like super close. Whoa, bird. Alrighty, we have ported at Victoria, and we are now in line trying to get off the ship. So we shall see what Victoria, Canada is like. It'll be our second time in Canada officially, where we've not just in a holding tank. So, this is our little aquarium over in Vancouver. So, yeah. What? Recently. When was the other time? Oh, that's right. Charlottetown. The west coast of Canada. Let's say the west coast. It is rainy and wet. It's just a slight sprinkle, but it's still pretty wet. We are going to be entering Canada.
My umbrella, but I don't feel like I even need it in this.
No, it's not.
Drizzle.
It's not raining so hard, but you need it. I think it's fine. All right, so we just bought our tickets to get on the shuttle. It's about $15 round trip to go down. It's about 7-minute shuttle ride, apparently. Yeah, we just paid with our credit card, and then we got a stamp on our wrist, and lets us on board the shuttle. Last shuttle leaves at 9 p.m., so definitely want to get back before then in order to make all aboard time.
Well, I gotta see, it's a lot warmer today than it was yesterday. I don't feel any bitter cold, so this is more like a tropical monsoon for Victoria. And I hope, I guess if you just came from Alaska, I hope it's warmer than Alaska. Oh, you can hear the For Whom the Bell Tolls. That is the Dutch carillon to our left-hand side. Up the street, just get off the bus, turn left, and walk straight up. That will take you to the beginning of Old Town. Now, Old Town ends at Chinatown, and you can walk to Chinatown in 15 to 20 minutes. So you can take in the breadth of Old Town quite easily in about 20 minutes, and then make your way back here.
All right, we have found our way to Beaver Tails. Hopefully we'll get some beaver tails and maybe some poutine. I mean, we're in Canada, so we should probably get some poutine. That sounds like a thing you do in Canada. Although I didn't do it in Vancouver, and I didn't do it in Prince Edward Island either. So all the poutine I've actually had have been in
The U.S.
the U.S.
Boo.
It's pretty sad. I need more poutine. Should I try the beaver tail first? Or the poutine
Whatever.
first?
Whatever you feel
Try
like.
the poutine first. Oh, there's lots of cheese curds in here. Oh. There you go. Ooh, it's hot. That is so good. It's so unbelievably good. One more.
Okay.
There's a cheese pull. Oh. It's gooey, it's salty. The french fries are crunchy.
No, that's what I was like, ooh.
So good.
We're gonna get some, okay?
I don't even know how to eat this.
Carefully. I think you hold it in the
Should I
thing.
just-
Yeah. It'll
Okay.
just crush the whipped cream, which is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna go for it.
Don't need paper.
Okay.
Oh. That's awesome. The dough is like kind of fluffy and light, and the chocolate and chocolate sauce and Oreos and whipped cream is amazing. Oh yeah. Definitely recommend some beaver tails and some poutine. So we're wrapping it up in Victoria. We just took a stroll down Government Street. Just did some shopping along the shops here. Of course, you saw we stopped at Beaver Tails. That was delicious. Highly recommend going to Beaver Tails, getting some poutine and some Beaver Tails. Again, it's like a crispy dough, a little kind of fluffy on the inside with different toppings. The classic one just has cinnamon and sugar on it. And we had one of the specials, which was a mud pie that had chocolate sauce, whipped cream, and Oreos, and that was amazing. The poutine though was the highlight. The gravy was nice and salty, and the cheese curds were gooey. So definitely stop by Beaver Tails. And then, like I said, we just did some shopping, and now we're getting ready to head back onto the ship. The shuttle situation was really cool. It was $15 for round trip. They take you right in front of the Empress Hotel, and then they cycle through every 15 minutes and then take people back to the ship. So that was cool. It was very convenient, very easy. It's right there when you get off the ship. So it's an easy way to get to downtown, and then you can walk kind of at your at your own pace and then go back. So definitely recommend going to Victoria. It is just a short time here though, so we didn't have time to do very much else. We also wanted to stop by back to the ship so we could have dinner and see our wait staff again before we leave.
Back to England.
When they got to England, they needed someone to drive them around, so they hired a chauffeur. They hired a 17-year-old boy named George Stoner to drive them around. Francis tried to open up an architecture firm, but the Architecture Society in England said, you're not qualified as an architect, you can't practice here. So Francis turned to the drink a little too much. And when Francis turned to the drink, Alma turned to George. Yep, that's right. She started to have an affair with the chauffeur. Eventually, Francis found out about the affair.
We just got off the shuttle and we are headed back to the ship. Just got through the security check where they checked our badges or our sea pass cards. And now it's back onto the ship. Sad times. Last port, last time, last night. Sad times, but there's the ship again. The Quantum of the Seas. All right, so we are wrapping up our video for Victoria, British Columbia, and really wrapping up the cruise. We have disembarkation day tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty early morning. We're going to get up and maybe have some breakfast. And then we're supposed to be out of the room by 8 a.m. And our time to come off the ship is about 9 a.m. So we shall see how that works out. But for today, just to wrap up, we had a good time in Victoria, British Columbia. The two shuttle drivers we had were super informative of different parts of history for the area. So that was really, really nice. And then after we got back, we went to the main dining room at the Grand and had dinner. This time for dinner, we kept it very simple, actually. Courtney had the Mediterranean tapas platter, which had pita bread, hummus, tzatziki, and a Greek salad. And then I had 2 orders of shrimp cocktail. And then for the main course, Courtney had the autumn turkey dinner, which is basically Thanksgiving dinner. And I had the spicy coconut curry with a chicken. And that was delicious. I don't eat a lot of curries. Usually the flavors are not ones that I generally like, but this one was spicy, had a cuminy taste to it. It was a really good thick sauce, and the chicken was well seasoned with some jasmine rice. It also came with raita and some roti. That was really, really fun. Also really delicious. The mint yogurt contrasted really well with the curry. And then for dessert, I just had the chocolate ice cream. Courtney had the cheese plate and also the peach tart. Peach trifle. Overall, our last dinner was really nice. Again, got to see Jose and Happy, who are an awesome wait staff. Jose is amazing. He's again from the Philippines. He's Visayan, just like my family. And Happy's from South Africa, and she's actually returning back home to South Africa tomorrow. So that's really, really cool. We spent a big part of the day packing because we knew that we had to get our luggage out by 10 p.m. So we packed away the last remaining touristy items we bought and things like that just to finalize, and then put our luggage out in the hallway for the 10 o'clock deadline so that they can take them down to wherever they take them, because they know they do, and then they take them off the ship as soon as we get in. The saddest sight is all the luggage lined up in the hallways. That means the cruise is coming to an end. And that pretty much wraps up the day for today, which was our 7th day on the cruise. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified of new videos on our channel. And if you did like it, please share it with your friends and family. Bye for now. All right, this is a weird video in that this is our disembarkation video. And normally we kind of just tack it on to the end of whatever our last cruise video is. But this one was different for a lot of reasons. So I'm going to show you the entire day. I wasn't really planning on vlogging for that day. We thought it was going to go smoothly. It did not go smoothly. So it's kind of piecemeal. There's not a lot of information, mainly because we kind of didn't know what we were doing and what was going to happen. So we didn't really have a timeline for things. So it was kind of hard to plan around. So I apologize. It's missing some information here as far as like food reviews. But we hope to give you an experience of what it's like on possibly the worst disembarkation day ever. Stay tuned. Good morning, everybody. It is disembarkation day. And yeah, so right now it's 8:30. We are supposed to be out of the room by 8 o'clock. But as you can see, we're still in the room. I'm still filming in the same place I've been filming every night. So why is that? Well, we woke up at about 6:30 this morning expecting to already be at port. But apparently due to high winds, we were unable to coast into port and port normally. So we are actually anchored off just a few miles off of the coast of Seattle. Beautiful view outside. You can see the Space Needle and everything, so that's cool. But because of the weather, we are unable to port. So the captain has been coming on every so often, giving some updates. We are, I think now at this point, because it doesn't look like the weather's going to be changing much, we are waiting for a tugboat to come in from Tacoma. And then we'll get another update shortly after that, I'm supposing. So we're just waiting on that. At this point, we have no idea what we're going to be getting off the ship. Everything is closed down, like the stores and things, because they don't allow any more purchasing because they closed out people's accounts last night. And the buffet and the main dining room restaurants were supposed to close by 8:30 because, again, everybody was supposed to be off the ship. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, if they're going to be able to do anything. They've just advised us to kind of hang tight in our staterooms. So that's where we are. Fortunately, our flight is not till around 4:30 tonight, so we actually have quite some time. We knew well enough not to book early flights. So thank goodness for that, but I feel really bad for the people who have flights at like 11 o'clock and things, because I don't know if they're going to make it on time or what. So we shall see. Updates as they come. All right, so got another update. Things are not looking good. So we've been advised a couple things. One, we are no closer to getting to port. And getting to disembark the ship. We've been advised to basically, if you have flights before 4 p.m., to go ahead and reschedule them or, find another flight time, and that we won't get any further updates until noon about the porting situation. We've also been advised that our port valet, which is the service that they provide to transfer your luggage directly to the airport and have it checked in directly for your flight, those have been canceled as well. Of course, refunds have been issued for those. So we won't be able to give a review on the port valet, which is what we were talking about doing. And right now we're kind of in limbo. We don't know what's going to happen. So I do know that they're going to open up the Windjammer for lunch again. So at least we have that. But we don't know when we're going to get off the ship. Our flight is not till about 4:30. And we did look up other flights. There's a last flight that comes out after 9 o'clock tonight. So if we really need to, we can get on that. But at this point, we kind of just want to get off the ship. It's a nice ship and everything, but 7 nights was quite enough. I think we're ready to be on dry land for a while and go home to our girls. So again, updates as they come. All right, so this is what a ship that is stuck in the middle of the, well, not the middle, anchored in Puget Sound looks like. All the shops are closed because they can't do any transactions. They do have some activities going on, which is kind of nice. They scrambled to put together something to do for people, but still. We are headed over to the main dining room to see if we can get seats and what is on offer. But otherwise, the Promenade and Sorrento's Pizza is still open as well as Cafe 270. So, yep, we shall see. Nah, that's fine.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Welcome to dining room, please.
Thank you. Just two, yes. It's not ours, but. All right, so we just got seated in the dining room of, this one is Silk. It's the Asian themed one. It's the first time eating here because we were assigned to the Grand, and this was a My Time dining option, so it was not one of our options. So yeah, so we're here. We just got the announcement, the noon announcement. We are going to be making an attempt with some tugboats to help along the way getting to the dock. So they said it's going to take about an hour for that attempt. So we shall see if we need to rebook our flights or whatnot. This is going to be the moment of truth. So we shall see. Lunch options look nice. I'm thinking about getting the Manhattan clam chowder. I've never had Manhattan clam chowder, so I'll try that out. And mozzarella sticks. And then maybe the royal chicken sandwich or the royal burger, one of the two. And then I don't know if I'm going to do a dessert today. So we shall see. All right, so the captain wasn't joking. We were going to make our first attempt, and not 5 minutes since my last vlog, we are moving. So we are heading towards the docks. So we shall see if we get in, and then what time we get off the ship, because that's really the big thing. The big concern is getting off the ship, getting our luggage, and being able to still get to the airport in time for our 4:35 flight. It's going to be tight, or else we're going to rebook and reschedule for the 9 o'clock flight, 9:20. So we shall see. All right, we are finally off the ship.
Well, not yet.
Well, we're still on the ship. We're finally getting off the ship. We're outside. We're making our way off. 2:45. People were supposed to start getting off the ship at 6:30 this morning. So 2:45, 8 hours later.
Yeah, it is pretty windy.
Ain't bad. It is pretty windy. So there must have been a reason. So we'll see. Yeah, that's that was the craziest disembarkation we've done so far. We are officially off the ship and now on the gangway. Whew! What a crazy trip. There was some drama in the trip with data loss and then high wind conditions, so you just don't know what to expect on these things. So it is what it is. Just fine. Welcome to the United States.
One eternity later.
And we're back. So we got off the shuttle, did our check-in, checked in our luggage, and we still have some time before our flight, even though our flight got delayed for 20 minutes, so it's now departing at 9:48. But we decided to kill some time by buying a day pass at the lounge for Alaska Airlines. So we're here above gates N13 through 18, hanging out the lounge, checking it out and seeing what benefits there are to offer. And again, it's just a good way to charge our devices and kill some time. All right, so just finished eating at the Alaska Lounge. I had gotten mac and cheese. They had a little mac and cheese bar, which you could add your own different toppings and things. So I had the mac and cheese with some bacon bits and some green onions. This is the first time I'd ever had green onions in mac and cheese, and that was a game changer. That completely changed the flavor of the mac and cheese, and it gave it a little bit of a pungent sweetness to it. So I really enjoyed that. Bacon bits, of course. Bacon always makes everything better. And then I'd also had a little, it was a little sandwich bar. So you could have a pretzel bun, and then I had turkey and ham, and then I had some mayonnaise and some cheddar cheese. And then for dessert, had a little bit of a pound cake and some Biscoff cookies, which are nice and gingery, ginger snap cookies. So overall, pretty happy with the food that was available at the Alaska Lounge. In addition to that, I also got some Coke Zero from the freestyle machine. So that was cool. And now we're just waiting around for our flight. It's not a bad place to hang around in. The day pass did cost $30 a day, but we wanted to try it out and make use of it and maybe give a review of it. And it was totally worth it because we were going to be in the lounge, you know, for quite a few hours. So I like it. It's very comfortable. It's very quiet. It's peaceful. It's a good place to kind of avoid stress and then, you know, charge your devices too. So definitely, if you're going to be spending some time in the airport, this Alaska Lounge is pretty sweet.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm very worried about
We are on the plane. First class again.
She will. I want to make sure my baby comes.
And the
Yes.
the plane has some Disneyland livery on it. Kind of funny looking. So I feel like there's a couple things I need to mention here. When I mentioned data loss, that happened on the Juneau day as we were leaving the glacier. So stuff that I had recorded that night or the night before from Sitka and from the Dawes Glacier, all of the photos and footage that I had taken with my cell phone for some reason got corrupted and disappeared. I thought, I was devastated. I thought like that was the majority of the stuff that I had shot was with my cell phone, and then they were gone. So I was devastated by that. I cut that part out when I did a vlog about that because fortunately, once we got home, I was actually able to recover it from the SD card that is that my cell phone has. Another thing that I needed to clarify was the cost of the day pass at Alaska Airlines. The reason that it was $30 was because we were first class ticket passengers. Otherwise, I believe the cost is $60 per person. So we were able to get a half price because of being in first class. And then finally, just to, you know, add insult to injury, Courtney on that last day wasn't feeling well. She really wasn't feeling well when we were at the Alaska Lounge. And then, of course, when we got home, she took a COVID test and she tested positive. So, of course, that was going to happen. And that wraps up the longest disembarkation day we've ever had. It was a crazy one. But you know what? We're glad we got in safe. Everything worked out. It was just really frustrating how long everything took and kind of just how crazy it was. I didn't capture the craziness of trying to get our luggage. I didn't try to get the craziness of trying to get transportation back to the airport or any of that stuff, mainly because we were so stressed out. It was a highly stressed environment, so I didn't do a lot of filming then, so I definitely apologize about that. But hopefully it was still informative. Hopefully you got an idea of kind of what happened and what we did. And that wraps up our disembarkation video. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified of new videos on our channel. And as always, no matter where you find yourself on this journey, please take a moment, however brief, to take a closer look at life. Bye.